The nasal emission system, also referred to as NEM system, is used for the measurement of nasal emissions during consonants and the simultaneous monitoring of the speech loudness. The NEM system indicates graphically and numerically the degree of velopharyngeal closure during those consonants that require oral air pressure. It uses two screens to accomplish all needed functions. In addition to providing real-time nasal emission and audio displays, it allows the user to record speech sounds or phrases, play them back, hear them, graphically represent them, with both sight and sound compare them to model productions or previous user efforts. The hardware needed will be the dual-chamber oral nasal mask, the nasal emission mask handle, and electronics pack with USB output cable, along with your computer. The oronasal mask is available in two different sizes, one for child and one for adult. The adult size mask has 8 holes, 4 oral and 4 nasal, and the child size mask has 4 holes, 2 oral and 2 nasal. To apply the mask, make sure the removable screens are inserted in the nasal chamber holes, one for each hole. You'll also see a molded partition on the inside of the mask to separate oral and nasal airflows for nasalence recording. There are also a number of access ports on the outer surface which should be left unchanged for assessment use. To assemble the oronasal mask and handle, you first must insert the USB cable into a USB jack on your computer. Next, you will insert the handle onto the mask. Hold the mask in one hand by grasping it by the nasal separator on the inner surface, and hold the handle in the other hand. Align the 2 coupling plugs on the handle with the 2 small holes on the inside of the mask. Be sure to orient the mask so that the computer lead cord exits the underside of the electronics pack. Press the electronics pack into the mask until the case touches the mask. Have the user hold the handle with his or her hand touching the back of the electronics pack and place the mask on position on the face with nasal separator resting on his or her upper lip. The mask should touch the face firmly, especially along the upper lip and around the nose, but without any great pressure. Lastly, have the user talk into the mask. His or her jaw and mouth should be able to move freely. It's not necessary to push the mask tightly against the face. These masks are reusable and are easy to clean or sterile. For cleaning, refer to the user manual. Next, we will talk about the operation to run the NEM system software. Once the program is opened, click on the Start on the taskbar and select All Programs. From the submenu that appears, click on Nasality Visualization System, or NVS, if you are in the Glottal folder. The Nasality Visualization System screen will open. At the top of the NVS screen, click on the Nasal Emission box. The Nasal Emission System will open in the Flow mode. Set the mask size button, which is at the center below the chart, to the size of the mask being used. This is dependent on your client being adult or child. Once you have successfully reset to the 0 level, you can begin running the test. When you are in the Flow mode screen, the Start button is clicked, and the recording will remain continuously. The display will show only the last 5 seconds of nasal emission and sound level values. After starting the recording, the Start button changes to a Stop button and can be clicked to stop the recording and capture the last 5 seconds of the recording. Though 5 seconds is the default interval, 10 seconds can be selected by clicking on Options at the lower left. In the mode, the captured interval can be replayed to hear it, but cannot be permanently stored. To see how to store a segment, see the description of the Compare to Model mode. To interpret the display color coding, we must know that the recorded signals will be displayed on the same axis in 2 colors. The nasal airflow is encoded in red, and the microphone sound level is encoded in green. Airflow above the target level line will show a darker red. Next is running a test in the Compare to Model screen. The screen for nasal emission labeled Compare to Model can be selected by clicking on the tab at the upper left. This screen differs from the Flow Model screen in that, first, only a fixed time interval is recorded, either 5 or 10 seconds, and recording stops automatically after that interval. Second, recorded segments can be saved. 3, there are 2 charts on the screen, enabling comparison of current and previous productions. Recording on the Compare to Model screen is possible only on the lower chart. The record interval is either 5 or 10 seconds, as chosen under Options, with the default being 5 seconds. Next is a text box. A horizontal box between the 2 chart boxes on the Compare to Model screen allows the user to add text, such as a printed version of the word, phrase, or sentence spoken in the model chart. The text will be saved with the model when the model is saved and reappeared whenever the model is loaded. Next is saving and moving segments recorded on the Compare to Model screen. A segment recorded on the lower chart of the Compare to Model screen can be either moved to the upper or model chart or saved file in the computer by clicking on the appropriate button to the right or of the lower chart. The Save button on the upper chart allows a segment moved from the lower chart to also be saved. Lastly is loading previously recorded segments on the Compare to Model screen. To simplify saving and retrieving recorded segments, when the program is installed, a section of the computer's memory is relegated to saving nasal emission files. Files from the section can be accessed and shown on the upper or model chart by clicking on the Load Model button. The 0 or offset setting for the chart on the upper screen will be automatically set to the value used when the segment was saved. Now, there are features that will appear on both the Flow Mode screen and the Compare to Model screen. You will always have a playback button and playback audio. When a 5 or 10 second segment has been captured and recording is stopped on either screen, it can be played back auditorily by clicking on the playback button. The other feature on both screens is a marked region and marked region checkbox. To select any desired interval of a recording nasal emission display, place the mouse cursor at one endpoint of the desired segment on the chart and press and hold down the left mouse button. While holding down the left mouse button, move the mouse along the chart to form a highlighted rectangle enclosing the chosen segment. To revert back to fully display, click anywhere on the chart if the checkbox under the display that is labeled Measures is checked. The average values displayed on the screen will refer only to the marked region and will not be the entire display. And the last feature that is shown on both screens is the average nasal emission and sound level computation. Average nasal airflow in milliliters or seconds, and total nasal airflow in milliliters, as well as the average sound level in decibels, are computed over the duration of the marked region. If no marked region or time window has been set on the screen using the mouse, the computation will be over the entire 5 or 10 second window in the chart.